Wars: The Clone Wars?
Yes. Next question. No, I'm kidding. We're going to a new planet that was mentioned in some of the Star Wars novels. It's called Onderon. And on Onderon, we'll learn a little bit more about the formation of rebels and rebel pocket groups. And that's really what that story is about. And in a lot of ways, it ties to what you see later on in the original trilogy with the Rebel Alliance. So look for clues in the Onderon arc for things you know about in old Star Wars, but in a new way in our show. So, yeah, that's a pretty good spoiler. So I'll do my best. Go ahead. Try again.
Spoilers today. All right. Well, over the past 3 weekends, several young Padawans have come up to me and told me that they want to go into animation because they're big Star Wars and Clone Wars fans and maybe one day work for Lucasfilm. So do you have any advice for the aspiring Padawans out there?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing is you just have to, if you really want to make that your path, it's good because if you know what you want to do in life, that's going to make it easier for you to accomplish it. So focus on that goal. Meet people in your industry, talk to them when you can, whether it's, making a big film or just local films. You need to get in the community of people that do what you love, and that's the best way that you can get to where you want to be because you're going to need help no matter how talented you are. People say you were in the right place at the right time, but you have to be able to get yourself in the right place at the right time, and it doesn't just happen magically. So work hard and find something you love, whether it's animation or whatever. My brother loved trains as a kid. My brother works for the railroad. He's as happy doing that as I am working on Star Wars. So just, more importantly, just find your passion and go with that.
And you told me a story once how you practice drawing every day.
Every day. I used to sit in front of my house. We had a fairly busy street, and I'd watch a car go by, and I'd try to draw the person that was in the car, because then I had to do it from memory. And it taught me to draw really fast, and just little things, all the time. And even if someone says that drawing's not very good, just take the criticism, but then continue. Don't let someone stop you from doing what you want to do.
Great advice. So I hope all the aspiring Padawans out there are listening. All right. Are there any particular characters that will see a lot of growth in season 5?
You. It is a big. If you like Ahsoka, I think this is a very big year for her. We've had a lot of. I know you're very pleased, but it's a challenging year for you. It's not an easy year. You're growing up in a lot of ways. We started with you when you were a character that's more like 14 years old. You're more around 16-ish now, and you've got interesting dilemmas, this boy, Lux, and all kinds of problems. So we're going to sort all that out and tune in to see how that goes. And by the end of the season, it's going to get interesting. You can't complain about anything that happens. You have to just go with it. So enjoy it.
So you're telling the fans not to miss an episode in season 5?
Not a single one. Especially because you're in them. So,
Okay. All right. Some more spoilers here. Okay, well, season 4 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars ended with Darth Maul. Yes. A little teaser that we haven't seen the end of him. So, will we find out more about Darth Maul and Savage Press in season 5?
Well, it took so long to put them back together that we couldn't just kill them off. That would have been just ridiculous, right? So, I thought Sam Witwer did just such a great job with the character. I know George really loved it too. So we really expand on Darth Maul. You find out that he's very cunning. He's very intelligent. He's not just a one-dimensional warrior. He was trained by Darth Sidious in all the machinations of a Sith and how to use deception and build empire, basically. And we're going to see that happen. And, it's going to get nasty again for our friend James Arnold Taylor. Obi-Wan's going to have another tough year. So when someone's targeting him like that, it's going to be, he makes it into the 4th movie, so he's got a pretty good chance of making it through our series. Just saying. So don't feel too bad for him.
He did look so good with the bald head.
Well, yeah, Racco Hardeen, that was something, yeah.
Okay. So, just like I would consider myself your Padawan,
yes,
I would say that
that's
you're
very true.
George Lucas's Padawan.
Relatively. Something I learned from him?
Yeah, what have you learned from George Lucas?
Well, George has just very clearly been the greatest teacher I could have possibly had in the world of filmmaking. It's not, he taught me everything about making a Star Wars film. I've learned so much about editing from him and just how I think an audience relates to a story. And the best thing I can tell you is that just if you're a storyteller, and the thing that George really drives home to me is just always be clear with your story. sure the audience is understanding it as well as you are, so they really enjoy it. And the easiest analogy I can give you is, a story is anything. You ask your friend, how was your day? And they tell you the story of their day. Well, you'll understand, but they're not, depending on how clear they are. We love stories as people. It fuels us. It drives us forward. And I think I've been really lucky to be, taught by one of our greatest storytellers ever in George Lucas. So I'm really thankful for that.
Okay, so now for the question on everyone's mind.
Or mostly yours. Go ahead.
Oh, you can read my mind all too well. Let's talk about Ahsoka.
Of course. Wow. Well, that's shocking. Let's talk about your character. Let's talk about your character. Yes. What do you want to know?
Okay, well, I want to know a lot of things, but I know you can't answer this question, so
Won't.
let's
That's
actually,
right.
unless you can.
Won't. But go ahead. Ask the question anyway. Then they'll feel good about it. So go ahead.
Well, I want to know what's going to happen to her, but let's open it up to the audience and find out what their questions are.
Yeah, that's better.
So, Leela and Dax, let's open it up.
Hey, guys.
Are we going to see Ben Fontanero?
You're a friend of Kyle Newman with the insurgency, Ben Quadraneros. Well, probably the Steelers didn't do too well, and neither did the Penguins. That always decreases your chances because I'm not as happy and willing to do something foolish like put Ben Quadraneros in my relatively good show. So, if I decide ratings are really going down, we'll try putting Ben in as a stunt so 5 more people watch. He's warming the pegs great out of Target right now, so you got that going for you.
Hi, Ashley. I'm over here. It's me, Lily. On this side, your other side.
There she is, over there.
Hi, I've got Ashley down here. She has a question for you. How come women love Dave Filoni?
All right.
Alright, in the last season, he has the last episode called Vengeance and Obi-Wan fighting it out with them. Are they going to pair up and become allies once again?
That's a great question. I wouldn't say that Vengeance is going to pair up with Obi-Wan, but she is going to team up with someone even more unexpected than Obi-Wan. I'll say that. Vengeance has become one of our favorite characters, most interesting characters on the show, and her future is really very interesting. I can't say more than that. Maybe it's Celebration.
All right, next question.
Speaking of Celebration, I believe you asked a question of Kim, and I think she has an answer for you, Dave. The regression of Darth Maul. You mean like what happened to him before, or what?
No, the answer to your question about posters.
Oh, I see. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I have to do a special poster for fans who got an exclusive pass Celebration. I asked some fans today what they might like to see, so maybe we'll see. I got a couple ideas. I got to get the paintbrush out as soon as I get back to California.
That's another question over here, Ashley and Dave. This is AJ.
The Ewoks.
Hi, AJ.
Will we ever see Ewoks in Clone Wars?
Ooh. It's come up from time to time. A lot of the crew want that. I've resisted it, mainly because I want them to remain special in Return of the Jedi. I have a feeling that very few people knew about Ewoks, especially the Empire, and I don't think the Empire particularly cared, thought of them as insignificant, and just to make them kind of that mysterious thing that pops up at the end of the entire story, I think it's best to leave them out. I mean, the only time I thought about using them was kind of putting them in a Zygerian cage when they were selling off animals. There'd be the sad little Ewok in there, but that just seems too mean. Exactly. Yeah, see, you'd all be blues, so no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, maybe Ahsoka can run away and live with the Ewoks.
Probably not. That's not how it's going to happen. Strike that idea.
Next question.
Lily, do you have a question out
I
there?
sure do. I've got Claude over here. He's got a question for you, Dave.
Dave, I know that you did the covers for some of the Star Wars, Clone Wars comics, which is really cool, and that you adapted one of those comics into some of the episodes. Have you done any other comics work? And I think I heard you did work on Avatar. Are you still working on that? And Legend of Korra or anything?
I do the comic covers. A friend of mine, Henry Gilroy, who also wrote on the series, wrote in the comics. So as a friend, just a thing to do for him, I illustrated the covers to some of his comics, and then I got to know Darkest editor Randy Stradley and their friends. So I do it for them for fun, mainly because I love to draw and paint. I am not affiliated with the Avatar series anymore, but Mike and Brian are doing a great job with Legend of Korra, and I think it's another fantastic show. So I'm really fortunate. A lot of my friends have moved on to do a lot of exciting things. I've never done a comic before. It's something I'm really interested in. I actually wrote your origin story that I'd like to do as a comic and how Close Team finds you, that whole thing. We don't have time for that stuff. But maybe as a comic one day, I think it would make a great comic. You come up to my office, I'll show you. I drew some of it. You look really cute and small. You'd love it. Your thing. You're tall, little tiny horns. Yeah. Don't make that face. Just accept it. It's nice, and you get that. It's cute. It's good.
Will we get, so we won't get any more in the show about Ahsoka's backstory?
No. We're moving forward. We're moving forward with you. I already know you. That was you required. Don't worry.
Okay, next question.
This is Will.
Here we go.
Will we see the Clone 5s anymore?
Boy, you will see 5. Yes. A lot's going to happen to 5. In season 5, oddly, 5 is not as prevalent as he was in season 4, but we have future stories with 5 that are really exciting where he's a main character. So, yeah, brace yourself.
Oh, one
It's going to get good.
I've got Eddie over here. He has a question.
Hey, Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, Dave, will you do another Clone Wars movie in 3D?
Yeah, personally, on a personal level, I would love to, of course, do one. If we did one, I don't know if it would be 3D or not. It's not in our plans right now. It's just not on our plans. But, I appreciate a lot of fans saying that, the support. I think that it shows that we've raised the quality level of our TV show. And something we're really proud is that we can give you guys a feature quality thing every week on TV. So for now, that's where we'll be.
All right, next question. Oh, okay, next question.
This is Andy.
Hi, Dave. I saw that you brought Darth Maul back at the end of season 4. I gotta ask why.
Well, that is a very simple answer to that. Because George asked me to. Yeah, he said, I want to bring Darth Maul back to life. I said, are you sure about that? He said, yep. I said, okay then. I said, you cut him in half, right? He said, yep. I said, that makes it really tough. He said, yep, that's your problem. So I think in the end, George loved his characters, and he really liked Darth Maul, and said, now that we had Savage Press back and we thought that character worked really well, he wanted to expand on it, and he came up with the idea that he was Maul's brother and that was kind of instigated. And with the magic of the Night Sisters, we thought we had a viable way to actually make it believable. So you're going to see a lot more with that, and we're going to explain a lot more in the future, Mother Talz's involvement in the whole thing and how that all works.
I have Amanda down here with a question.
Hello.
What is the relationship? What's going to happen with Obi-Wan and Duchess continuing with
Oh, I know, you look so worried. You must have seen the trailer. Yeah, it makes you nervous, huh? Well, that's interesting. It's going to get interesting. It's going to be good. Let's put it that way. Anna Graves, who plays Satine, is fantastic. Obi-Wan, he's not with the Duchess later, so we'll see what that means for now. It's going to get dicey for Obi-Wan, but you're going to enjoy it. Sorrow can be so sweet sometimes. I think, we'll see. It's going to be good. That's all I can say.
Well, Dave, I have one last question for you. I don't know if many people in the audience know that you actually do a voice on the Clone Wars.
I do.
Talk to us about your character.
I am the incredible Embo. I am the greatest bounty hunter. I have more kills than Boba Fett and more captures. I remind Daniel Logan of this all the time. That's only because Embo's older than Boba at that time. But Embo also has a really awesome dog. He's got a big white wolfhound that runs around with him called Mara, which is actually named after an Arthurian knight of the Round Table from the Monte de Arthur. So, little information there. Yeah, so and I do the voice. He speaks all alien, and then Matt Wood puts it through an incredible processing. You'd never know it was me, which makes it really work. And if you want to see Embo in action, I brought a special clip, never before seen. Matt Wood just mixed it 2 days ago.